Hello everyone, welcome back. Today's video is going to be about a subject that get a lot of questions about, and I'm going to try to teach you something today, so bear with me. What I've got here is a 55-gallon boom sprayer, and this I use to put down my pre-emergent herbicides, and I mainly use it for herbicides. Now, 55 gallons is a small sprayer. Would I like to have a bigger sprayer? Yes. Would I like to have one with GPS and all this good jazz on it? Absolutely. But I don't. And that's one thing that I think run into a lot of times with farm equipment manufacturers is they don't take into account small farmer and the cost. You know, small farm equipment cannot be ridiculously expensive. We can't justify buying it. So we'll get off that soapbox. But what I'm doing, in the past, I'm not putting down enough volume with this sprayer. And it ain't the size of the sprayer or nothing like that. It's the size of my nozzle tips. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change my nozzle tips. And then I've got to recalibrate this sprayer. And calibrating the sprayer is something that a lot of farmers struggle with, myself included, so forth and so on. So we're going to talk about how to do that several different ways. So, what am I changing what do I mean when I'm changing my sprayer tips? This right here. Okay, this is how much volume goes through the sprayer. Now, you got three components on this. You got a screen, a cap, and a nozzle. Okay, and what you got to do in order to calibrate your sprayer, you want to make sure your screens are clean, which I washed them out. Screen goes in, your nozzle goes in your cap, and let me get in there. And one of the pups is barking because he heard me talking, so he may serenade this video. And I know the camera's moving around, and I'm sorry. And of course the nozzle don't want to go in. Alright, the nozzle goes in the cap like so, sticks through the bottom, and then I'm going to put it on here. I'm going to tighten it down, and then I've got to line that nozzle. So what I'll do, I just use a adjustable wrench, and I just line it up. I want it parallel with the boom, because it's an 80-degree nozzle, so it's going to fan out like so. Alright, I've got them all changed. Now, these nozzles are color coded. These colors mean something. I don't know what they mean. The ones that were in it were blue, which is a very small flow. And if you can afford the brass nozzles, or if you can find them, get them these plastic wire, and it adjusts the amount. So now, most of our sprays, particularly herbicides, give me a per acre amount. Okay, so there's a couple things I've got to know going forward. Alright, so what I'm going to be spraying in here is going to be 1 to 2 pints per acre. That's the rate of the chemical that is recommended on the label. And remember, pesticide label is federal law. You need to follow it to the T. Okay, so if I fill this up with 55 gallons of water and I put 2 pints in it, and I only spray 1/4 of an acre, I may have crop injury. Okay, now that's one reason that a lot of farmers don't use pesticides in vegetable crops, is they're concerned about crop injury. On the flip side, if I fill it up 55 gallons, put the 2 pints in it, and spray 3 acres, then of course I'm probably not going to get effective control. So knowing what your sprayer is going to put down is critical to calibrating it. Alright, there's several different factors that go into how much that sprayer is going to put out. 1 is the size of the nozzle. 2 is the amount of pressure you're running on this nozzle. And 3 is how fast this tractor is moving through the field. Okay? There is several ways to come up with that. All right, so here we go. On these particular nozzles, there's a handy dandy chart, and I know you probably can't read it, but I'm gonna read it to you. What it says is at 20 or 30 psi, the capacity of one nozzle is 0.3 gallons per minute. Capacity of one nozzle in ounces is 55 ounces per minute. Okay, so it says right here, one nozzle at 4 miles per hour at 30 psi will put down 32 gallon per acre. All right, 5 miles per hour, 26. 4 miles an hour at 75 psi, it's going to put down 48.6 gallons per acre. So you got that chart that tells you speed and how much each nozzle is going to put down. All right, so we got to do some math. Most of us hate math, but that's okay. I've got 7 nozzles, okay? So, if I'm running at 4 miles an hour, let's do some mathematics here. And you know, to all the math teachers that said, you won't have a calculator everywhere you go, so you need to learn to do it longhand. Nah, boo-boo. I got the calculator right here. I think about that every time I use this. All right, so I've got, let's do 32 times 7. All right, so at 4 miles an hour, 7 of those nozzles running at 30 psi, I'm going to put down 224 gallons per acre. Ruh-roh, my sprayer is only 55 gallon. All right, so we're going to have to speed up or do something. So let's go to the extreme. At 30 psi, at 12 miles an hour, it puts down 10.6 gallons per acre. So 10.6 times 7 equals 74.2 gallons per acre. That's at 10 miles an hour, which is booking it. All right, how fast is the tractor going? A lot of tractors have these charts right here, okay? They have these charts that tell you how fast you're going, what gear, what RPM stuff. So at 10 mile an hour, I'd have to be in B range, second gear at 2300 RPMs. All right, that's just too dang fast to go bouncing through a field in my fields. So what are we going to do? Ideally, I'd like a tank of that water to cover 1 acre. But it appears, according to this chart, that I'm going to have to cover a half acre with a tank. So instead of putting 2 pints of product in there, I'll put 1 pint and fill it up. And then I got to figure out what 7 nozzles is going to put down 50 gallons to an acre. So if I'm running, you know, at 10 miles an hour, which is 12.8, 12 times 7, that's still too many. And you know, I'll just have to do the math and figure that out. All right, so you don't have this chart, and you don't have this chart on your tractor. You're just going to say you're going to use a backpack or any other type of sprayer. All right, and it says you need to put X amount of product per acre. So what you can do, all right, I know this boom is 12 feet. I know there is 43,560 square feet in an acre. All right. So for instance, what I could do, I can measure out 300 feet, go through and spray it the speed I want to spray it, the pressure I want to spray, see how much water I used, figure out how much of an acre that is. Well, let's just do that as a, I'm going to set you guys up here so you won't be shaking all around. All right, let me get my calculator. To all my math teachers. All right, so we got 300 feet. 300 feet times 12 feet, which is the width of my sprayer. That's 3,600 square feet. All right, let's divide that by 43,560 square feet in an acre, and that is 0.8 of an acre. that is less than 1/10. That is 8/100ths of an acre. Okay, so I use 5 gallons. So we'll figure if it takes 5 gallons to do 1/10, it's going to take 50 to do an acre. Okay, so you take your backpack and you put 3 gallons in it, and you got 10 rows 100 feet long. You just spray plain water, 1 row. How much water did you use? Okay, you know what the area is, you do the math. The key is how much you're putting per square foot, and knowing that there's 43,560 square feet in an acre. Okay, so what I'll do here is I'll do the math with my chart and my nozzle chart, and then I will check this. I will measure out a known distance, spray a known area, and probably what I will try to do is do 4,300 feet, which is 1/10. So if I'm going to do 4,300 feet with a 12-foot sprayer, what I will do is 4,300 divided by 12 equals, I need to go 358 feet. So what I'll do is measure 358 feet, drive me a stop, set my RPMs, set my pressure, drive out there and say, okay, that sprayed 10 gallon. So I know it's going to take 100 gallon to an acre, which means one sprayer is going to do a half a gallon, which I'll put the rate for a half of an acre in that one sprayer. My sprayer then is calibrated. I'll just have to remember what gear I was running in, what RPMs I was running in, and see what happens. It's as clear as mud. I know. What you got to do is know how much volume you're putting out per so many square feet, and if you know there's 43,560 square feet in an acre, and that's what that chemical is, you know, it's calling for 1 pint to 2 pints per 43,500 square feet, then I can know how much water I need to, how much spray I need to put in how much water. No matter what the sprayer is, that's how you calibrate it. You know, whether it's insecticides, whether it's the air blast sprayer or whatever. I got the air blast sprayer set up, it's 100 gallons. The volume and the speed that I run out, it'll cover an acre. That way I just mix the per acre rate right in the tank, put 100 gallons in it, and go spray at the speed and the RPM that I need to run at. So if you like what we're doing, I hope that, if you have any questions about it, ask me, but I hope that clears it up some. But that's how you calibrate a sprayer. A dry run is the best way to calibrate a sprayer. So if you have any questions, please ask them. If you like what we're doing, please subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you have a question or comment, particularly about calibrating the sprayer, ask me. If you see a video you like, give it a thumbs up. And until the next time, take care of yourself. Talk to you later. Bye.